The Father and I are one. The Gospel of the Lord.
Today we celebrate the fourth Sunday of Easter, traditionally called Good Shepherd Sunday. And it is the World Day of Vocations. And also this year, we celebrate Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all our mothers here today. On this Sunday, we reflect on the image of Jesus as the Good Shepherd, who devotedly and kindly take care of his flock. The opening prayer and the prayer after communion both speak of Jesus as the Good Shepherd. As we listen to our first reading, we heard about Paul and Barnabas and how they went out to preach the Word of God. And we hear how the people did not want to hear the Word of God, and so they were forced to leave the city since their preaching was not acceptable to the Jews. The second reading, as we heard from Revelation, which we've been hearing the last few Sundays, telling about Jesus and the glorious Lamb who is our Good Shepherd. Today's gospel has that metaphor of Jesus as the Good Shepherd. Even though it was only 3 verses long, we heard that Jesus takes care of us. This comforting message is that no one can be snatched from the sheep out of the Father's hands, and that the Father and he are one. And we've heard about that with Philip saying, "Show us the Father." And Jesus said, "You saw me, you saw the Father." It's easy to wander away from the Good Shepherd by following maybe the attractions of the world instead of keeping our eyes on Jesus. We stray sometimes because we don't always listen to God's voice. And the way we listen to God's voice is through our prayer and our prayer life. But again, it's not only us praying, but also us listening to what God has to say to us in the silence of our hearts. Sometimes this can be done through the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, where we can just sit there and be with Jesus and he with us. The way we can recognize his voice is when it calls us to come back to him. And especially we hear this in the sacrament of reconciliation, where we ask Jesus to forgive us so we can come back to him and love him even more. We are called to trust in Jesus and let him take care of us as one of his sheep. Everyone is entrusted with the care of others. We have our pastors who takes care of us, our parents, our teachers, our doctors, our nurses, our government officials, all are to take care of us. And so we become good shepherds by loving those entrusted to us and praying for them. And this is a reflection of what a mother does in loving and caring for her family. Today we are also to pray for vocations, and we'll hear a letter from the bishop on vocations in religious life today. Let us ask the Lord to help those men and women discerning this life to better hear God's call and follow. Let us also pray for our religious leaders, that they may always hear the shepherd's voice clearly in their lives. We may want to think today about how our lives what our lives are doing in following the Good Shepherd, and how much do we really trust in the Good Shepherd to not lead us astray. In other words, how do we try to control our lives ourselves rather than let God control it for us?